I'm going to try to be as succinct as possible here. I was with my abuser for 3 years. During this time, he tried to control me. He belittled and purposely limited my highly ambitious nature. He tried to convince me that men had it worse during pregnancy. He has been openly racist to me and outwardly. I am a person of color. He shoved me to the wall with his hands on my neck when I cried when Trump won in 2016. He was sexually aggressive and had a lot of sexual fantasies that were very questionable to the point where my body shut down. He loved shitting on women's bodies after they've given birth, and mind you, he was below average and has no sense of athleticism. He was forceful about having children with me and I wasn't ready. He told me that I would be an old haggard if I didn't have children at 24, when I was trying to finish university. He was 27 and his men ovaries were having extreme baby fever. He would scream at me and record me every time we would have fights. He also cheated on me. It's been many years and I every time for allowing myself to have given him that time I can never have back, but I have forgiven myself and buried him deep into a black hole. Yesterday, I went to a get-together with a few hometown friends. My friend is mutuals with my ex's sister, and she spilled some tea about him without me asking LOL. He's now married with the woman he was sleeping with during that time frame. They popped out 3 kids in 2.5 years. No breaks. His wife is controlling, and my friend pointed out that she was really physically unappealing. She found out that I moved back home. I'm leaving in a few months, and she was so outraged that now they're moving to Idaho LOL, him in SoCal, which is the last trip him and I took before we broke up. His mom and sister have cut off ties with him and his family because he hurt his mom. He apparently still checks my online presence and continuously thinks about Mew. I know that wasn't petty, but I'm happy that the universe helped him get the life he always dreamed of. Edit update, 10:14 a.m., March 25th. Hi everyone. Thank you for sharing your stories and all sorts of comments. I 100% am grateful for all of you all. I wanted to share this on here because it felt like a good place to vent. I didn't think it would receive a lot of comments and such. I wanted to post this because I feel it's quite draining to respond to each message of support as it's not fun reliving experiences and such. But thank you nonetheless. Anyway, just to clarify, this was a relationship that started 10 years ago and ended a long time ago. So, I've since moved on and have had a really adventurous and fruitful life fulfilling whatever my heart desires. This person was my literal first boyfriend LOL. I am 31 now. I didn't grow up in an environment where healthy relationships were a thing. We have always been taught to endure and persevere and ignore in my family/culture. I didn't know my experiences were terrifying and that my feelings of hurt were genuinely normal until I started talking to my friends and learning of other people's experiences. I went along with everything and endured because 1, I felt trapped and thought my perception of what is considered normal were basically gaslight by this human. 2, my younger self thought that enduring struggles was a test of the strength of a relationship. Minus the openly racist comments, everything I've mentioned were of him confiding his thoughts and true emotions in private. Yes, we had an entire argument about pregnancy and how he thought it was weird that his stepsister didn't snap back into her petite form. I'm gonna stop there, it gets worse. I choose to move on with my life and remove any remaining skid marks he's left on my psyche by going to therapy and becoming the best version of myself. Thank you for your support and kindness. Update, 10:37 a.m. The conversation with my friend happened on Saturday, the 23rd of March, 2024. I fully believe in the universe being of service now LMAO. Comment. I know this pain and comeuppance well. Those who have not experienced it will tell you to just let it go. But one's nervous system does not simply just let abuse go like that. These small victories of cosmic karma feel great. Here's part of my story so we can celebrate together. I had an abuse ex that I dated just shy of a year in 2017. Similarly to your circumstance, he was as unattractive outside as he was on the inside, and very limiting/controlling when supporting my ambitious side. In the 11 months we were together, he forced me to drop out of college, told me in front of both of our parents that because his dad took his dream away that I should be okay with my dream being taken away, and smear campaigned me to all of our mutual friends. They would corner me and tell me what I was doing wrong. My hobbies and interests were mocked and destroyed. His were meant to be enjoyed by the both of us whether I was happy or not. X would spend days ignoring me, making me feel and appear crazy, until he would call me and act like I blew up his phone. I'd attempt to text and call him once a day, in which he'd block the calls both times, and tell our mutuals that I was harassing him. It took me years to undo the shit I had endured before, during, and after that X. In 2020 during COVID, I was working at a local grocery store doing fulfilling online orders. His mom had ordered using her maiden name, and I ran the order out to find him. I had lost considerable weight, dyed my hair, been moved out with a close friend, and deep into a happy new relationship. I was also working overtime self-publishing my first book, a dream he tried to insult and throw away. His mom came into shop and I told her all about my happy new life, knowing it would keep him away. For reference, he lives in a closet-sized room in his grandmother's basement, sleeping on a futon. This has not changed from the last time I bumped into and spoke to his mom. Knowing he was dragging me down due to his own misery is karma enough. I know to work my ass off and improve. He will always be the person who dates women just to drag them down to his level. Comment. I chuckled about him being married to a woman who is controlling after him being abusive to you. My kid's abusive dad went and got remarried to someone who didn't put up with his shit, and their early marital years were quite volatile, according to my kids. My second husband started fucking another woman within a few months of our separation, but early in our marriage had threatened that if we were ever getting divorced and he got wind of me sleeping with somebody before it was final, he would kill me. And for months that overlapped with him coming to our divorce mediation sessions crying and begging me to take him back. He eventually married her, and some years later my former stepdaughter happened to mention how miserable he was with her. I already knew that because he had texted me multiple times asking if I was still happily married or if I thought I'd be getting divorced, claiming that the only reason we got divorced was because I never gave him a chance, and saying how much he missed our life together. Comment, do not forget that your bad time is a lesson to your past self and nothing to your present self. That person was bad, and no one deserves to learn a lesson from him, but you learned anyway. Grats on becoming better. Comment. So glad you got away from that prize, and that he's someone else's problem now. I hope you take the time you need time to heal and have gained insight into why you gave him so much control over you. I also hope you reignite your ambition and never look back. I wish you all the best that life has to offer. Comment. Hell yeah, congratulations on getting the hell out of there. You earned your peace, sister. I'm sure it was hard, but well worth it in the end. I know it takes a lot of strength to change your circumstances, and it likely gets worse before it better, but hopefully this can inspire someone, even just one person, to make a change they have been afraid to make. Comment. Good for you. Congrats on getting out and having the life and success you deserve. Ugh, the update and mentioning the stress put on enduring and persevering through the rough times. That is a test of strength in a relationship really hit home. That's actually the part that kept me in my abusive relationship so long. I got to the point I questioned it before ultimately it even got that bad. It was still bad enough my body knew it was wrong, but I essentially gaslit myself into staying because of this idea/value. I was a very determined kid that didn't give up. I think others saw something in me and they seemed to just know I was in an abusive relationship because people kept giving me unsolicited advice out of the blue. One older woman saying she even stayed with her husband that hit her. She said she told him she would leave if he ever did it again, and he never did, and they had a great rest of their marriage. Where that came from when she went off about it, but it wasn't helpful at all. I grew up getting ignored and told to just be nice. Basically, I don't want to hear how you feel, just smile and keep the peace regardless of what's right or wrong. Talking about being treated different/unfairly compared to my male siblings was brushed off or shut down. Just do what I'm asked and don't worry about what anyone else is doing. I think it really set me up for falling into an abusive relationship down the road, and I'm sure that's not at all what my parents were aiming for. Please leave your story in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to get new update. Thank you.